Hi, this presentation is being conducted over Skype with the head coach, Coach Susan, two assistant coaches, Coach Dan and Coach Haley, and one of the athletic trainers, Shannon, along with some of the members of the Centralia College women's volleyball team. Centralia College is a community college located in Centralia, Washington, which is in the southwestern part of the state. The team has 5 returning players and is coming off a 9-5 conference record with a 25-13 season record. In 2017, for the first time in the history of the school, the team qualified and competed in the Northwest Athletic Conference Championship Tournament, where they went 1-2. There are 2 losses being to the championship and runner-up teams. So very exciting, and congratulations. I had spoken earlier with Coach Susan to get a feel for the team and the expectations that she has for the season. We also discussed some of the situations where I may be of help to your team in ensuring that you all are at the top of your game, both individually and as a unit. I've used those concerns to tailor my presentation to meet your needs. Also, everyone should have my phone number. If it's not on the PowerPoint slide, if not, it is on the PowerPoint slide. So as we're going along, if you have any questions at all, please just text it to me, and I'll do my best at the end of the presentation to answer the questions. Now, the PowerPoint presentation is up, and I'll just ask someone to forward to the next slide when I need you to, okay? First, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Luann Groover. I'm currently in the master's program for performance psychology at National University. I live in San Diego, California. I have been involved in many sports over the years, both individual and team. I played volleyball and ran track in college. I retired from the Navy and was on the all-Navy volleyball team. I have also competed in CrossFit competitions, and for fun, I ran 5 half marathons. My passion is helping people to achieve their performance goals and to have that experience be positive and rewarding. So not only do I want you to perform to your maximum capability, I want you to enjoy yourself while you're doing that. Okay? Next slide. First off, what is performance psychology? How is what I'm going to be talking to you about today important to you and your team? My role is to help you perform the very best that you can, both individually and as a team. Just as your trainer Shannon is here to recognize and evaluate injuries and provide care, I'm here to recognize and assist you in overcoming those mental stumbling blocks so you can better perform your role on the team. Okay, next slide. There are many different aspects, problems, issues that both individuals and teams encounter when competing, and they all have the potential to cause anxiety and insecurities. We're just going to talk about a few here. Schoolwork and practice. Now, this is attending class, being present in class and being able to focus and pay attention, getting your homework done, and making it to practice, again, being able to focus and concentrate while you're in practice. This could also apply to your coaches. They all have jobs, other jobs than just coaching, whether that be teaching or another profession. They have to do many of the same things that you guys are trying to do, and somehow we have to come up with a balance, a healthy balance where we can be successful both academically or professionally and as an athlete or coach. Injuries. This is often overlooked until it happens, but there's many things to think about here. Returning from the injury and rejoining the team. How does that affect the injured player? How does that affect the rest of the team, the coaches? And let's not forget the player that filled the shoes of the injured player. So a lot of things to think about there. Teamwork and miscommunication. These two kind of go hand in hand. because they both deal with personalities and include your teammates and your coaches. Miscommunication can really have an impact on teamwork. Decision making. Who am I setting the ball to? Who am I going to serve to? What kind of serve am I going to serve? For your coaches, when do I call a timeout? How far do I let things go before I call a timeout and stop the action? When do I sub? A lot of decisions, and a lot of these decisions need to be made really quickly and rapidly. And then lastly, stress and pressure situations, which involves having confidence both in yourself and others, your teammates, your coaches. Now, these are just a few, and I'm sure we could come up with a lot more. And again, they don't apply just to you as the athlete. They also apply to your coaching staff and your support staff, your athletic trainer, your strength and conditioning trainer. That's a lot of stress and a lot of stuff to deal with as you're trying to get your education and be a successful athlete. And then you also have to have some time to rest and relax. Many of you have goals, whether that be to transfer to a four-year school, get a head coaching position, or move on to a university coaching position. I am the resource for you to use to help you achieve your goals. All right, next slide. Some of the most common psychological skills for enhancing performance are relaxation, self-talk, imagery, goal setting, and concentration. We're just going to talk about these a little bit, discussing the benefits and different scenarios where these techniques could be helpful. Relaxation. Many problems in performance stem from anxiety and muscle tension that go along with being in the spotlight. It could be public speaking, the first serve of the game, singing for an audience, competition in general, a nurse putting in an IV. The list goes on. When we are in a state of heightened arousal or become tense, that can be detrimental to performing skills that require a level of motor control. There are many different methods of relaxation, all with the same goal in mind: to turn down the sympathetic nervous system activation, which is an accelerated heart rate, blood vessels constrict, and raised blood pressure. So we want to turn those things down, and we also want to reduce the muscle tension that is associated with that. Relaxation can be used to focus attention away from negative thinking to something else, or to help decrease the mental aspects of anxiety. It can help us combat muscle fatigue by learning how to activate muscles and to turn them off when they're not needed. By letting go of unnecessary tension, we are preserving energy and prolonging our muscles from entering a state of fatigue. Self-talk. There are a variety of methods which are used to counter the negative consequences of disruptive, anxiety-producing language. It's talking yourself out of a situation. There's no way we can beat this team. My serve is going into the net. So-and-so is such a great hitter, there's no way I can defend her. What do we do, and how do we use self-talk to our advantage? We can use it to reframe the situation. Instead of, there's no way we're going to beat this team, we can change that around to, we might lose to this team, but we're going to go in there relaxed and ready. We're going to give it our all. We can test ourselves and learn something, so the next time we play them, we'll be more prepared. Imagery. Imagery is used in many different applications, from nursing to learning new skills, relaxation, mental preparation, recalling past positive experiences, and remembering past mistakes and correcting them through imagined scenarios. Imagery is often used along with relaxation and self-talk. Again, there are many different types of imagery, all with the same goal of improving a person's performance in a particular event or situation. Goal setting. There are different types of goals, and the one that you're probably the most familiar with is called an outcome goal. An example of this type of goal is making the playoffs. Another type or process of goal setting is SMART's method, which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely, and self-determined. Goals can be immediate, short-term, long-term. They should be positive, achievable, and measurable. And lastly, concentration. It is the means to the end of productively focusing on a task. In many ways, it is used in conjunction with the previous 4 skills. Relaxation helps you concentrate on turning muscles on and off as needed. It helps you identify unnecessary tension and can prevent distractions. Self-talk can help direct attention and eliminate distractions. Imagery can be an exercise of concentration, seeing and feeling an act before the actual execution of that act. Goal setting is designed to help athletes stay focused and oriented on their goals and performance. These are just a few examples of techniques that can be used to help combat those pressures that people and teams encounter when performing. I did have some questions come in, so I'll go ahead and answer those now. The first one is, how long does it take to improve a skill? Now, that's a very good question. It all depends upon the person and the skill. It also depends on the effort that is put into the technique or intervention that we are using to improve the skill. For example, let's consider weightlifting. I want to improve my max lift for squats. What are some things I need to do to accomplish that? I have to perform the lift correctly. That is, the technique and form, it needs to be correct. I'll need to have some type of plan as far as the number of sets and reps I'm doing and the amount of weight I'm lifting. I'll need to know my max weight now and decide on a reasonable, attainable, long-term goal, and maybe throw in some short-term goals along the way. If I'm really serious, I'll need to rest and eat correctly. I'll also need to be patient because strength gains don't happen overnight, right? So as you can see, there are a lot of elements that go into improvement. The next question, how does this apply to our team, and how can we use these techniques as a team? It's very similar. We could use something as an example like miscommunication. Is it leadership or team members, or a combination, or all of the above? To help us out here, we would clarify roles, develop positive communication skills, conduct group goal setting sessions where we would encourage involvement and open discussion. These group goals help provide direction and motivation, and also they ensure that everyone is on the same page. We came up with these goals together and we're all working to achieve that long-term end goal. There are also tools that are used to manage conflict, which is another stressor of competitive performance and working in teams. If our outcome goal is to make it to the conference championship tournament again this year, then functioning as a team and having a strong sense of teamwork is important. Have you seen the team that has that one-star player? They may win some games, but it's unlikely that they are winning championships until they start working together, respecting each other, and performing as a team. Okay. And the last question I have here, my sister's team worked with a sports psychologist and it caused a lot of problems because they told the coach everything that the players were talking to her about. How can we trust you not to do that, or is that something that is commonly done? I'm glad you asked that question, and I'm sorry to hear that your sister and her teammates were exposed to that. In my earlier conversation with Coach Susan, we discussed this, but just so you all know, what you discuss with me will not be shared with anyone, our one-on-one conversations. There are exceptions to that, though, and they are if you say that you're going to harm yourself or someone else, and if there's any type of child or elder abuse disclosed, Those are things that must be reported. So if we decide to work together, there will be more discussions on confidentiality and informed consent, which will include everyone involved, because we really have to understand each other and be on the same page so we can develop a trusting relationship, both me with the players, me with the coaches, and you guys with me, the coaches and the players with me, and together we can build that relationship and trust each other, because we understand that what you tell me isn't going to be passed along to anyone else. Okay. If no one else has any other questions, thank you very much for giving me this time to talk to you. I have a conference call scheduled with Coach Susan on Wednesday. So if you have any other questions, please forward them to her. I wish you all the best this season and hope to see you in the conference championship tournament this year. Thank you.